Olá, meu nome é Gustavo Meirelles, eu sou médico radiologista, empreendedor na área de saúde e presidente do conselho da IDR, Inteligência Diagnóstica Remota. Este é mais um episódio do ExpertCast, podcast focado em inovação em saúde, com apoio da AGFA. Em cada episódio, recebo convidados que são especialistas em temas relacionados à inovação, principalmente na saúde. A ideia é te deixar por dentro do que há de mais atual em novas tecnologias no setor e das novidades que estão vindo por aí. No episódio de hoje, tenho o prazer de receber o Fabien Clerc, que é cônsul do turismo da Suíça no Brasil, e o Osama Usmani, fundador da Salubrum, startup focada no tema turismo da saúde. Bem, a partir de agora, para poder conversar com o Fabien e com o Osama, o podcast será em inglês e retomarei para o português ao final do nosso episódio. Humans have been traveling with the goal of taking care of their health for many years. Since the Roman Empire, there have been accounts of journeys focused on entertainment and medicinal bath. In Brazil, starting 3 centuries ago, there were initial discoveries of natural springs whose taste and at times odor distinguished them from ordinary water. From then on, many locations became sought after for their hydromineral resources, offering well-being and treatments for various diseases. Health tourism can encompass medical treatments, alternative therapies, physical activities, health and nutrition, among many other services aimed at improving the health and well-being of tourists. Currently, there is a growing concern with the maintenance of health from a preventive perspective, not just from a curative aspect. This has led people around the world to seek natural, detoxifying and also relaxing treatment resources, as well as to have access to medical consultations, examinations, or different procedures at lower costs or with higher quality in other locations. So to discuss this topic, I'm pleased to welcome here today Fabien Clerc, who is the Consul of Tourism for Switzerland and Brazil, and Osama Usmani, founder of Salubrum, a startup focused on medical tourism. Fabien and Osama, it's a pleasure to have you here today to discuss such an interesting topic. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Gustavo. It's a pleasure to be here with you and looking forward to the discussion with Osama today.
Thank you so much, and likewise.
Thank you, guys. Well, I might start with you, Fabien. I would like to know if you could share with our listener the unique aspects that make Switzerland an exceptional choice for medical tourism. So Brazilians usually love to go to Switzerland due to the landscape, to excellent food, beautiful locations. But we would like to know a little bit more about the medical aspects in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So as you rightly said, we have a very long-standing traditions of sending Brazilians to Switzerland for leisure tourism. In many, many years, we opened our office in 2004 in Brazil. That's when we started really doing a promotion of Switzerland as a tourism destination in Brazil professionally, I would say. And this has had an impact very strong because we've seen the increase of volume of Brazilians in Switzerland ever since 2004. So the work that we do here has a very meaningful impact on our country's promotion. And medical tourism is actually something quite new. Switzerland Tourism only started working in this specific segment in the year 2020. And Brazil actually only from last year, because firstly we had Russia, the GCC regions in the Gulf region, and also China as the main focus for medical tourism. But given the geopolitical context, Brazil was chosen to be the next market because of, as you can imagine, Russia, China is not right now the best source market for medical tourism. So to answer your question, I think I can easily say that Switzerland has excellent hospitals and clinics known for their very high quality care and also cutting-edge treatments. Also many specialties are represented. I will talk about this a bit further later on. But if I may maybe answer your questions more specifically, I would say that I would maybe give 10 reasons why we should choose Switzerland as a medical treatment destination. The first reason would be that Switzerland was elected as the best healthcare system in Europe based on the EHCI ranking of 2018. It won the gold medal among 35 European countries in this ranking. So this is a fact, based on concrete variables, and we are very proud of being first of the list based on this ranking. The second reason why Switzerland should be chosen, I would say, is because of the top specialists in all areas of medicine. Whatever the clinical picture, there will always be excellent doctors on hand in very well-known hospitals. We have a lot of know-how. Doctors work very closely with universities, research institutes, and other pharmaceutical companies. So this is a very important aspect, I think, for security, I think, for the clients. The third reason is very short waiting times. I think this is a very added value for many people. We have a guaranteed optimal access to medical services, very excellent nationwide network of high-quality hospitals, which means that people don't wait so long to be attended and treated. Fourth reason is a very high innovative and medical technology landscape. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic and treatment equipment in Switzerland. This is quite well known, and I will talk a bit more about this later. The fifth reason is a long tradition of welcoming international patients. This is also quite well known. Medical treatment in Switzerland has been popular since the 19th century. Many reasons for growing number international visitors, fresh mountain air, healing thermal springs, high standard of medicine in Swiss hospitals. I think this make our destination quite unique. Sixth reason, the quality, the security, and the discretion. Many Brazilians, especially with a very high income, they like to be discreet. And I think Switzerland is a good place for this because we have a very stable political situation. We have very strong natural reserves. So the visitors are always very treated highly discretion, and that's very important for many. Seventh reason is the cultural tolerance. We have 4 national languages that in one country. So sensitivity when dealing with other cultures is very high for us. So we know how to deal with different cultures. So we take great care of the patients. And if I can make a parallel with the US, for example, I think that sometimes Switzerland treats patients more like humans rather than just a number, which can be the case sometimes in the United States. So I think this is a very high advantage for us. Eighth reason is relaxation for traveling companions. I think many people bring their families, bring their environment or friends with them. And I think people can enjoy being in a very nice country at the same time while the person is being treated. Ninth reason is medical expertise and maximum comfort. We have 5-star institutions in Switzerland. Everything is very high quality, especially the private clinics. So people can be guaranteed to be treated in a very high standard establishment. And finally, last but not least, I would mention the short distances. This is a very important fact because we have a very good accessibility thanks to an attractive and dense transport network. Switzerland's compact size means that you can do journeys not only to hospitals but also to tourist attractions that are very short and uncomplicated. And I think that's important for any patients.
That's excellent. Well, thank you so much, Fabien. It's great to know a little bit more about Switzerland. So you're very used to the beautiful landscapes and also to the stability that Switzerland offers to all visitors. But I have to know that I was not fully aware of all the medical treatments and the beautiful clinics that you can visit in Switzerland, not only for treatment, but mainly for prevention or for having wellness and good quality of relaxation in the country. So this is very good to know. So let me move now to Osama. Osama is based in Canada, and he has just founded a new startup called Salubrum, which is fully dedicated to medical tourism. And then, Osama, I would like to know a little bit more about Salubrum, specifically about the TravelWise passport, which is your main solution. And so TravelWise passport is keen to revolutionize the landscape of healthcare, not only in Canada, but all over the world. So I'll give it to you now.
Yeah, so our company is called Salubrum. And as with any startup, our minimum viable product, or our MVP, is called the TravelWise passport. So, for listeners out there, it really is our kind of first product. In sticking with that and with our users in mind, we decided to make our first product, again, the TravelWise passport, free to use. So the TravelWise passport is a free to use. It's on our website. It's a web-based program. And basically, prospective medical tourists that might have invoices and quotes that they've accumulated by talking to different clinics in different countries, like Fabien here in Switzerland, for example, they can go ahead and upload their PDF quotes and invoices, and we give them pricing insights, both international price insights, but domestic price insights, to make sure that the patient is indeed getting a good bang for their buck. We give them insights on whether or not the clinic is a verified clinic and a reputable clinic, a accredited clinic, which is also a big concern for safety when it comes to traveling to different areas that you might not be so familiar with. But the other aspects of what makes the TravelWise passport great is that we help you complete your trip. So not only can you bundle your travel and stay directly on the TravelWise passport, we are partnered with Expedia and to deliver that. But you can also bundle your travel and health insurance, again, through the TravelWise passport. We work with an American insurance company called Insured Nomads to deliver that as a service as well. And the final piece that really, again, obviously for our US-based patients, but also for the clinics internationally, we can allow and we can do the heavy lifting for HSA and FSA spending capabilities. And again, for maybe non-US residents here, HSA stands for Health Spending Account and Flexible Spending Account, depending on the country you're in. But they're a little bit harder to take care of, especially again for these clinics that might not be in the United States. But for us, we kind of act as a platform for making it easier for patients to pay through their HSA accounts, but also easier for the clinics themselves to accept those HSA and FSA payments. That's the TravelWise passport, free to use. So please go ahead and go try it out.
Oh yeah, so this is very good to know. So people, they usually seek for healthcare near their houses, and most times they don't know that they could have a better quality or sometimes with lower costs in other cities or even in other countries. So I'm happy to know that Salubrum is offering new solutions for that, starting with the passport.
100%. And for us, again, this really is our first product, hence, again, why we want to make it for free. But it was also a direct answer to some of the problems, some of the more basic problems that medical tourists from North America were having. So very simple, very easy to use. We do plan to offer many more solutions, again, for different stakeholders in the industry, including the clinics, including primary care providers, etc. But the first thing that we wanted to do as a company, which is really part of our culture, is to take care of our patients. So that's what we did.
That's excellent. Thank you. So let me go to Fabien again. And well, I'd like to know a little bit more about Switzerland, specifically related to the medical specialties that could be, offered to patients all over the world, and the main healthcare services that are particularly attractive to international patients.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, before I go into this, I think I wanted to just say how important Osama's work is for any countries in the world, I think, not only for the US. I think this is a really wonderful product. and a really wonderful business model that we can all benefit from, especially a destination like ours. I'm really grateful for you to have done this link, because I think it would be very interesting to discuss how we could leverage the business model for Switzerland in the future. But congratulations, Osama, on the great work that you're doing there. And the specialties, so you're asking about the specialties that we have in Switzerland. If you go on our website, myswitzerland.com/health, you will see that we have actually more than 100 different specialties. So I will obviously not list them all, because that's not really the point. But there's also, I think what's important to mention here is that we have a preventive medicine side that is important. A lot of people like to go to Switzerland because they feel that they have a need in order to prevent a disease or an addiction or mental, anything that you can think of. Switzerland is a good way to disconnect, I think, from your everyday life. I think this is why this is a chosen destination. So one important activity, or I would say specialty that we have, is mental health. We have very good clinics in mental health. That's also a legacy from the past, actually. Some isolated clinics that offer a chance for patients to reconnect with themselves, with life, actually, because nowadays you tend to forget about what life is really about, I think. And we have a lot of clinics that offer services to cater addictions, actually, addictions to drugs, alcohol, cell phone, even nowadays more and more. So
that's an important subject.
That's an important one. Actually, we are all concerned by this, actually.
Yes.
So Switzerland has a lot of clinics that can offer services to overcome these kind of addictions. But we have others like orthopedics. That's quite an important one. Treatment, prevention of injuries and disease. That includes bones, joints, ligaments, tendons, muscles. In that matter, actually, a lot of athletes that have an injury will go to Switzerland to get recovered. We have excellent facilities for injury recovery in Switzerland. We have very good services of oncology as well. Treatment of cancer that includes chemotherapy, radiation therapy, immunotherapy. We offer good services in that area. We have also very good neurosurgery to treat conditions affecting the brain, spinal cord, nervous system. We have also nice urology services, treatments that affects urinary tract, the male reproductive system. We have very good specialists in Switzerland about this. I could also mention some of the abdominal surgery. We have good establishments for this. We have also good ophthalmology in Switzerland. I think this is not really known, but the treatment of cataract or laser eye surgery, we have high technology material to treat this. And finally, I would like to mention the endocrine surgery. This is a treatment of conditions affecting the endocrine system that includes the thyroid and other glands like adrenal glands. We have very specialized doctors about this segment also. I could go on and on, but because of time, I cannot really list all of them.
No, it's great. It's great. So we know that there is a lot not only to be seen in Switzerland, but also there are many different medical specialties that could help patients from many parts of the world. And I remember when I was a medical student, I spent a month in Lausanne at CHUV, which is one of the best hospitals in the country. And I could see a little bit of different specialties that could be offered not only to Swiss patients, but to patients all over the world. So this was like a very important trauma center. So patients who had suffered any acute injury could be sent to CHUV in Lausanne to be treated. So I could see all different medical specialties and treatments that Swiss can offer.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's an interesting place. That's where I'm from, actually. So I know CHUV very well. And linking to what you just said, I think what an interesting point about medical tourism to Switzerland is that Brazil already offers very good standard of medical treatment. Mm-hmm. So you might argue, or one might argue, why do you want to go to Switzerland if you already have some very good doctors and good medical system where you are from? I think the point here is more, it would be complementary. Some doctors here in Brazil have some limitations as to what they can provide in terms of medical services. And sometimes they feel very happy to recommend another doctor colleague around the world or another destination for complementary treatment or anything, service. So I think here is not really to replace, what you have here to offer. Maybe in some fields you are weaker than we are, but in most fields you are very strong already. So where is the added value? I think that's really the key as to what I can share here in Brazil for potential Brazilian patients in the future.
That's it. I see also a very wide space for collaboration, and this is going to be my question to Osama right now, because I can see that there could be patients from Brazil going to Switzerland to seek, for example, specialized care with mental health issues or addictions, any other points. And also patients from Switzerland coming to Brazil to get specialized treatment for some medical conditions where you can have a more specialized care in Brazil than in Switzerland. So that's my question to Osama, and I would like to know how Salubrum could collaborate with medical facilities around the world to ensure the legitimacy of clinics, and also to enhance the safety and satisfaction of medical tourists.
I think a few of the ways that existing players have gone about this, there seems to be some success stories, but also some things that we've seen that we want to maybe stay away from. So just as an example, a lot of the legacy players in our kind of Expedia for medical tourism space here, they've chosen to maybe start scraping the web and just become aggregators, speaking to as many clinics as they can. And for them, it's not really even a preferred provider network, a PPN that they're building, but even, in that philosophy that they're trying to, it's a very diluted list that lacks quality. As in, they may have 300 clinics in their databases, but have maybe only a solid relationship with a few. I think with us at Salubrum, we look at that in a totally different way. Just as an example, as we go ahead and try to build our preferred provider network out, we have a lot of filters that we use. For example, we ask clinics to disclose information about their success rate and things like that. But the biggest kind of philosophy change I think that we're bringing to the table is we don't want to simply partner with as many clinics as we can, but rather want to partner with the optimal partner for each region, the one that's a price leader, but also a quality leader. And personally, I won't disclose the exact kind of process that we use, but it is a little bit of a scoring system. We do rank these clinics. So for us, being able to find the optimal partner to really kind of grow with is the most important, because at the end of the day, healthcare is very much trust-based, especially medical tourism, where patients are usually paying for things out of pocket. At that point, they really want to make sure that they're getting a good bang for their buck, but they're also going with trusted quality partners. So if we're going to be lending our brand to these clinics, and obviously these brands are going to be lending their brand to us, we want to make sure that we're only partnering with the best of the best in each region.
Yeah, and Fabien, if you want to expand on that, please.
Actually, I wanted to ask a question to Osama, if I may. This is a very important point, safety and trust. We also want people to feel safe and trust our institutions. So in Switzerland, I was interested to know, how do you evaluate the partner clinics? Do you have a special set of criteria? Do you use rankings? Do you use external partners? It's very interesting to understand how you do this evaluation.
Of course. I think if the main things, like the top three that we look at, is the doctors and the publications that come out of the institutions themselves, or the hospital group, let's say, are they active? Are they active in that field? If we're talking to an ortho, somebody that specializes in bariatrics, are they a specialist kind of up to date? When was the last time they conducted some sort of procedure that's similar? That sort of thing. Those are a little bit more in depth on the practitioners themselves. But then we also kind of look at the infrastructure. What is the success rate of the hospital itself? How many beds does the hospital have? What is the business model of that hospital? Are they more focused on, less patients, higher quality, or are they focused on, just churning as many patients as possible? Because by looking at those things, even through the lens of a patient, we can kind of understand, like, okay, what is my patient's experience going to be like? Let alone beyond just the quality of the surgery itself. But yeah, I think the main things that we look at is that in just kind of building off the individual practitioners' kind of publications and how active they are, we are also using this to evaluate the other subset that makes up our PPN, which are individual practitioners out of North America, that are based here in North America, but that are, there's a trend of them going private. So for them, it seems very simple to say, but in a way, we are kind of like an Uber for them, where we are a platform for not only them to kind of market and commercialize themselves, but also a way for them to communicate with these patients, figuring out, payments and things like that as they come in. And obviously, again, if I'm an individual practitioner, I want to focus on treating patients, not focus on administrating any sort of insurance or HSA, paperwork that comes with it. So yeah.
That's excellent. Yeah. Well, we are reaching the end of the first part of our episode, and I'm sure that you as a listener have learned a lot from Fabien and Osama. So I've learned a lot from the conversation we had here, and I'm looking forward to the second part of our episode. And again, I would like to thank you, Fabien, and also to thank you, Osama, for being here, and look forward to meeting you again for the continuation of our episode. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Se você gostou desse episódio, dê 5 estrelas na avaliação na sua plataforma preferida de podcast, compartilhe nas suas mídias sociais e com seus contatos. Assim, disseminamos informação de qualidade e ajudamos a aumentar o interesse por inovação e empreendedorismo em saúde. Muito obrigado pela companhia e até o próximo episódio.